Really and truly. Really and truly. How can a man not love the ends he grew up in? How can a man not love the area he's born and bred in? I tell you why certain men don't like the area that they grew up in. Like, they don't like going back to the ends, quote unquote. I'll explain this in a minute. So me, I was born in North Middlesex Hospital in Upper Edmonton. And up until the age of 27, I resided in Edmonton. Never lived anywhere else. Like, obviously, when I was born in North Middlesex Hospital, then I went to my grandma's house for 2 weeks in Bushel Park, and then bam, my mum got a yard in N9, and I just stayed in N9. I moved from a flat to a house in N9, but man didn't go nowhere else. Like, literally stayed in N9 for 27 years. And yeah, that's where I call home. But it's not just Edmonton now I recognise and I feel like it's home. Tottenham and Wood Green, especially around, like, you know, like the Lordship Lane area, like just like where Tottenham and the Tottenham and Wood Green border is, I consider that to be home. So I worked for Holmes Haringey for 5 years, and this is the reason why I consider Tottenham to be like home. Although man had beef with man all over the place, like literally. I'm driving down West Green Road right now in Tottenham. The road parallel is Phillip Lane. I got stabbed in the bus garage and that. So yeah, man, I pass out. I will drive around Edmonton and like, oh yeah, I had a fight there, mash up man there, got knocked out outside the fucking police station over there. Man's had bare passes and bare madnesses with man all over like this little Edmonton, Tottenham area and that. But I still consider it to be home because, like I said, man was working for Holmes Haringey for 5 years. Imagine, although Tottenham is technically the op block, imagine being in Tottenham every day, well, 5 days a week for 5 years, just driving around. Man's been to every single estate in Tottenham. They ain't know it ain't big. Edmonton, man, they cannot share the same experience as me because outside of work, forget about working for Holmes Haringey and that, man used to always go Tottenham. Even when I was in the thick of things, used to you get me, had madnesses with man, still in Tottenham. I got family and that, man used to just go slipping, literally, didn't care. The Edmonton, man, them man treated Tottenham like it was a no-go zone. The Edmonton man was scared to go Tottenham. Yeah, they would never go there on their own, let alone with a couple man and that. And if they are, they're just literally dipping in and dipping out. Don't get it twisted. Even for me, like, get me, going to certain estates was still a no-go zone. Holmes Haringey, where I was based, my office was based in Broadwater Farm in the community centre. Imagine when I got the job interview details through the probation, I see the venue, the location of the interview for Holmes Haringey, fucking Broadwater Farm. I'm like, what? Nah, this can't be correct. I phoned up my probation officer. I'm like, you sure you got the right address? Like, Broadwater Farm Community Centre. She's like, yeah. I was like, fuck. But I ain't gonna, you get me, not go for the job interview. Like, I had to go prepared, innit? And I've spoken about this in videos before, innit? Like, I took my laptop bag and I had a few certificates, electrical certificates in the laptop bag. And I also prepared myself with something because I'm going to Broadwater Farm. I know a man there that has got a serious problem with me, and I'm not from that area, and my people, them who I affiliated with, were not allowed there, innit? Yeah? And there's no running. Yeah, concrete jungle, literally, there's no running. Man are gonna catch you in it. Man don't even know where to run. So I had to go prepared with something for the job interview and that. So yeah, working for Holmes Haringey for 5 years, and I consider Haringey, especially Tottenham, to be my area, innit? Like, man's on West Green Road right now, where West Green Road meets Tottenham High Road and that. So yeah, like I said, I've considered Tottenham and like little bits of Wood Green, not Hornsey though, but so Tottenham, little bits of Wood Green, obviously Edmonton to be home for, man, innit? The number one reason why a lot of men don't like the ends that they grew up in. And when I say grew up in, I mean like literally like spent like from the age of 10 to like 17, 18. The reason why a lot of men don't like the ends that they grew up in is because they probably got bullied in the ends. There was never that guy, because if you was that guy, you would love your ends, innit? That's why man love my ends. You was never that guy. You probably got bullied. That's why coming back to the ends for you is like a chore. Like, I know, man. That's, oh, Edmonton's a shithole, Edmonton's a shithole and that. Like, fam, so what, blood? Like, are you really doing that well for yourself that you can talk on the area and say it's a shithole, really and truly, blood? Like, the reason why the man them don't like the areas because there was a victim. I know, man that I know, running on their estate for a bus with a bunch of their friends and get banged in their jaw on their birthday and have to go to hospital. He was a victim. That's why a man like that will say he hates Edmonton, because he was a victim. Other men I know as well, they never were victimized and that, but because of the estate that they lived on, it was hot. Man from the other side were always going there, so they were shook to leave their yard. So for them, coming back to Edmonton, they get flashbacks. They don't like being in the ends. Me, I love the ends, blood. I wouldn't raise my son in the ends. I could raise my daughter in the ends. And I tell you why there's a difference between raising your daughter and your son in the ends. Especially an area like Edmonton. Edmonton is not like Peckham, yeah, where the girls are really involved in shit. You get it? Edmonton, girls can just cut through, and unless they really want to get involved in nonsense and that, they can kind of cut through. And I'm not saying girls in Peckham can't avoid it and girls in Brixton. When I say Peckham and Brixton, I'm talking about Peckham and Brixton like back in my day, 05 and up to 09 and them kind of times there, innit? Girls can avoid getting in trouble and all them things there, innit? But boys, especially back in my day and that, it's long growing up in the ends. If the streets were like this, if the streets were a case of you got a problem with a man and you have a fist fight and that's it, or even back and forth, but it's just fist fights, then I wouldn't mind my son getting raised on the ends and that. But it ain't like that. If someone's got a problem with someone, if beef kicks off, more than likely someone's gonna get stabbed. And I can't put my son in the position where he could potentially get stabbed. My son, I want him to grow up and you get me learn how to use his fists and that if he needs to. I don't want him to go around and be a troublemaker and that, but I want him to, you get me, man, I believe man them should go up and, you get me, have 1-2 fights and that, have a couple stories to tell. But it ain't like that now. It ain't like that now. Man getting into beef, man are gonna get stabbed. So if I had a daughter, she could grow up in the ends because she won't be exposed to that life anyway. But my son, nah, I couldn't have him grow up in the ends, man. Not when there's a possibility that he could easily get stabbed. It's just not worth the risk, man. But yeah, I love growing up. I love that I grew up in the ends and that. I love coming back to the ends. It's not a chore for me. The only chore is doing that hour-and-a-half journey and that. I love the ends, man. I never appreciated living around black people until I moved up to Northampton. I moved up there during the first lockdown, like around like summer basically, like May, June and that. And I remember during the first lockdown, like man didn't leave at some point for like 6 weeks. So I was up in Northampton for 6 weeks. Didn't go down to Edmonton. I've gone back to my area. I'm like, why's there so much black people about? Like, I didn't know Edmonton has so much black people. Like, this how you know you're from an area that is just blacked off. When you leave your area for 6 weeks and you come back and like, why's everyone so black? Like, why's there so much black people and that? Like, you have to check it. Like, man don't have no white friends, you know. The only white friend that I had is mixed race. Yeah, he's half. Yeah, so he ain't even fully white. Man don't have no white friends and that. Man don't have like, man don't know. Like, if anyone thinks for a minute, like, oh, the reason why Jay is making something of himself is because, oh, he's got white friends, he kisses white man's ass. No. Man don't know no white people like that. The only white people's numbers I got in my phone is through work or something like that. And they're just a work contact. I don't chat to them. I don't know white people. I have no, man don't even have friends who's light skinned, apart from one mixed race friend. All my friends is black. All my friends is dark, fam. So if you think that, oh, you know, the only reason why Jay is, because he knows, I don't know white people like that. You don't need to know people like that, blood, to make something of yourself. Yeah, you can be alone in this world and make something, so I'm the proof, man. All the things that I got, all the properties that I got, no one gave me a penny for them. The loans I had to take out was because obviously like mortgage loans and that's obviously man are giving you money, man are loaning you money, obviously. The bank, the lenders loaning you money. But other than that, no one gave me no money for the property in Egypt. No one gave me the money for no other properties and that. All of my own back, all of my own thing. I didn't need to know no white people to get properties, blood. All this black oppression shit is bullshit, blood. Stop believing in things that take away your ass clock power. Hopefully you see that video before you see this one. In that video I'm talking about stop believing in depression that takes away your power, that hinders you. Stop believing in black oppression. Do you think, yeah, if I was a man that suffered from quote unquote depression, do Do you think I would be in the position that I'm in now? Do you think I would be able to motivate you, motivate man in jail right now? Do you think if I believed in black oppression? Honestly, ask yourself this question right now. If Jay Wise, man like Jelani, believed in black oppression, do you think, honestly, do you think I would have 3 properties right now? If I felt like, because I'm a black man, it's difficult for me. Because I'm a black man, white people are gonna make things hard for me. Because I'm a black man, and I heard this one time on one of them podcasts, a man said that he believes that white people from a young age want to train to be teachers so that they can go into the school system and infiltrate it and help and hold back the young black students. You are on some next level of paranoia, blood. You are sick in your head, blood. If you believe, oh yeah, the police hate black people, that's cool. But for a man to be in school as a youth, man, see, I don't think some people think before they speak, you know. Think about what they're saying. So you think, yeah, that a youth man is in school at the age of 10, 12, 14, 15, and he thinks to himself, I fucking hate these monkeys. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get educated, I'm gonna go to college, I'm gonna go to uni, do a 3-year uni course, then I'm gonna go and do that 1-year course to become a teacher, and then I'm gonna go into the school system so I can infiltrate it, so I can hold back these fucking black people. Do you think, come on. No one has that racist drive to come on, man. You if you hated black people that much, blood, you would just go on a mad spree, fam. You think you're gonna really anyway, it's just madness, man. But me, man, love the area I grew up in. I love Tottenham, Edmonton, little bits of Wood Green and that. Like, I consider them areas there to be home, innit? And the man them that hate the ends that they grew up in, he's probably a victim. You probably got bullied, you probably got robbed, you probably never fought back. Yeah, I've been mashed up on the street, but I'll mash up bear man on the street as well, innit? So, yeah. The reason why the man them hate the ends that they grew up in is because they took L's after L's after L's after L's. On their resume, on their CV, just bare L's. Yeah? Stay wise, done now.